Hey again, guys. Do you know what I like to do on Monday after work? I like to look at some baseball cards. I have a few random things I want to discuss and a few random cards I want to show. First, I was just watching Mike Baseball Collector's latest video where he was FaceTiming with Raleigh Fingers, and it reminded me of a Raleigh Fingers story. He was saying that Raleigh Fingers had a collection. He bought some of his cards, and he liked collectors and everything. And it'd be interesting for me to talk to him because I have a very, very vivid memory when I was a little kid of meeting him. And when I was 9 years old, was my first year in Little League. And when I was little, and many of you won't believe it from watching me here on YouTube, but when I was little, I was very shy. I wouldn't talk to anybody. And so when it came time to get our uniforms, when I was, my first year in Little League, I kind of stood in the back and let everybody get their uniforms first. Everybody was diving in, and I just waited till they were done. And so I was a very tiny little kid. And when I finally got to go in and get my uniform, all the ones my size were taken, all the smallest ones were taken, and all that was left was either a large or an extra large. And so that's the uniform I got. And back then, you didn't have much choice. They had a bunch of uniforms and you just had to deal with it. So when I went home and I had to put this uniform on, my mom had to pin it over and over again to get it to fit me. I was just swimming in this thing. And when, back then, they had the legs that came just under the knee, and you had the big stirrup socks. And it was like, I think the early 90s when the pants that went the whole way to the ground became popular. I remember seeing Barry Bonds when he played for the Pirates with those long ones, and they started covering up the stirrups. But when I played Little League, those pants just came over your knee. Well, mine went the whole way to my shoes and were baggy, a little bit long on me. They would bunch up down there, and I would have to wrap the waist around and take safety pins and pin it up. And of course, the jersey was hanging on me. So one day, our baseball team had an outing to go to Three Rivers Stadium and watch a Pirates game. And they were playing the San Diego Padres. And we had to parade around the inside of Three Rivers Stadium, right? Now, at the time, there weren't a whole lot of players that were in the dugout yet. There were a handful for each team. And we had to go parade around and past the dugout. Past the dugouts, both of them. And I remember when I came, San Diego seemed to be out there. They had more people out there at first. And when I came past the San Diego dugout, Raleigh Fingers and Randy Jones were there. And Randy Jones was a really good pitcher at that time. And I could still picture his afro. He had, he had an afro, which was common at that time. And I walked by them and man, they got the biggest kick out of me in my oversized uniform. And they were kind of pointing at me, and they were smiling and laughing, and I was embarrassed as hell. And that's my story, my memory of Raleigh Fingers. Looking back on that, I must have looked ridiculous. But anyway, so one of my pet peeves with products is, when you have these covers for the Ultra Pro One Touches, or they have them for semi-rigids, for graded cards, for top loaders, you name it. And you peel this off, right? And these things are an absolute nightmare. Any of you that use these, I know you'll know what I'm talking about, but they stick. And you try to throw them away, and I'll try to throw them away, and they'll be all over my fingers, and then I throw them away, and then they get stuck on my finger again, and I can't ever get them off. and they're all over the house, and I'm always pulling them off the bottom of my feet, and my wife's always complaining because these things end up laying around everywhere. We need to find a better look. They're literally like flying at me. We need to come up with a better way here. Now, I know you can get a patent to improve a product. So if any of you are, innovators, you know how to invent things, you could improve upon this and invent something where this strip is made of something that doesn't stick to you all the time. Because these things drive me insane. Look, they're falling all over my cards. All right, time to move on. So, I don't know if you guys are aware that they started making these. And if you watch my channel, you probably know I'm a big BCW fan. But I used to get these dividers, right? And these dividers were meant for kind of the old boxes when you store your cards raw or with top loaders or penny sleeves. And of course, they're way too small to use with graded cards. So BCW is finally, and I just discovered these. I had looked for them in the past, so they have to be newer. But they finally made graded versions that are tall enough. And so, like, this is a box of different 1950 cards I have, right? And so you can see they stick above. So these are all little, different sets that don't have a whole lot of cards in the set, like Dandy potato chips and Bell brand, stuff like this. And so it's nice at a glance, you could just have them all divided there. And I'm glad to finally have that, because I have a lot of sets like that. If you keep them by year and you want to divide them out, like my Venezuelan tops, stuff like that. So I'm glad they finally make these. So I just want to let you know in case you want to pick those up. All right, what else do we have? I just wanted to show a random cool card. Just a random kind of cool card of the day. And that is this 2008 Vlad Guerrero. We have all these, what would be considered common cards. If it's not a rookie anymore, nobody ever seems to look at a card. But there are some great looking cards that are not rookies, that are not worth $10,000. And I think I'm going to start featuring some of the cool looking, just regular old cards. And this is one of them. And I wanted to show you guys this. In 1976, Reggie Jackson played for the Baltimore Orioles. But, of course, Topps didn't make him a card with the Orioles. There is just that one prototype. I think Topps made like 3 of them. Auctioned them off. Keith Olbermann bought 2 of them, I think. But they were never distributed. And I have put together kind of a montage here for Reggie in playing day things with the Orioles. And so I have a Sports Illustrated that shows him with the Orioles. His only card in an Orioles uniform during his playing days, don't tell me about the score that was done in 1990 or whatever, but during his playing days, during 1976, that's a team-issued postcard. It's the only card to my knowledge that showed him with the Orioles. And then he had 2 different Crane discs, and one of them showed him with the Orioles. But again, no Orioles helmet, no Orioles uniform. So that's really the only one. And of course, this really cool Sports Illustrated magazine. So I have just a few other things I wanted to go through. Number one, this is pretty cool. Somebody had sent me this card, and this is a leaders card, right? Batting leaders for the National League. And this was, 2015? Well, 2014 were the batting leaders. And what's interesting is Justin Morneau played for the Pirates right before, the year before this. So at the time this card came out, I remember it was kind of special to me because all 3 of those players were Pirates. And of course, the year this card came out, 2015, was the last time the Pirates went to the playoffs. And man, they had a couple one-game playoffs where first they went up against Madison Bumgarner, Mr. Postseason, shut us out, threw like a one-hitter or something, some crap. And then the next time we went up against Jake Arrieta, the year he was having that magical year, shut us out and hit a home run on top of that, just to rub salt in the wound. But they had a great series against the Cardinals. But last time they went to the postseason. All right, this is Jean Fott, and she played in the All-American Girls Baseball League. And this is one of those kind of art cards, the Corona cigars or whatever that they redid. It's an art card. But I wanted to pick her up because she's the only professional player in history to throw 2 perfect games. I was looking through some of my cards, found this autographed Neil Walker rookie card. He's announcing for the Pirates now. I was a fan of his. He was a hometown boy. And I found this A.J. Burnett autographed rookie card. Good pitcher. Just saw he was at a game, opening day. And I got this Connor Joe rookie. Found this Carl Yastrzemski jersey card. I think Picker Jim, Staven Sports Cards. I think they like him. Jason, Mr. Fisherbike. Found this Starling Marte autograph rookie card. Of course, I'm a big fan of his. And this one. And I found this Wade Boggs signed one. Upper Deck. Enos Slaughter. I was putting some cards in new holders. Thought I'd pull these out and show them. Frank Thomas. Just passed away recently. Oop, my phone's dying. Andre Dawson. Stan Musial. Marquise Grissom. Bobby Shantz, he signed a lot. Great signer. The Mad Dog. Got another Mad Dog. Tony Oliva. And a Jason Kendall E-card with a piece of his bat. And I got these 2 cool Najee Harris. Got the disco. You guys know I love the disco. And a select. I love the select football. So that's what I have for you. Thanks for watching. All right, I charged my phone back up. I don't know why I called him Andre Dawson, but this is Dave Kingman, man. So you don't have to comment that I screwed that up. I do that a lot, you know. Old brain. A lot of players in here. Picked up some Panini Contenders football. Thought I'd just show some of the highlights. I did pull my man, George Pickens. And got this rookie. And this guy will probably never play because I pulled him from every box I've opened so far. That's Carson Strong. And you got that one. And got some, pulled 3 Tom Brady's. And this cool Mahomes. To go with his regular card. And this great Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. I'm a big A.J. Brown fan. I always thought the Titans should use him more. Big, nice receiver. I was watching the draft with a friend of my dad who's an Eagles fan. And when they announced this trade, he hadn't heard of him. And I'm like, man, you're going to love that guy. Like, you're so lucky to get him. I wish the Steelers would get him. And these are really cool. And I need to look into getting more of these. These inserts are really cool. All right, that's what I have for you. Anything else? Thanks for watching.